Canada planning to invite 500,000 permanent residents in 2025. Canada allows so many immigrants for two reasons. There is a labor shortage so that the elderly can survive. According to Statistics Canada, the ratio of unemployed people to job vacancies decreased from 4.5 in 2016 to 1.4 in 2022. The biggest hard-hit sectors: manufacturing, food services, healthcare, retail, construction, stated that finding labor is a significant challenge. So if you are planning to immigrate to Canada and can service these sectors, Canada's government will welcome you with open arms. That doesn't mean you are guaranteed a job. That's still on you to convince the hiring manager of private companies to hire you. The labor shortage would probably mean that it won't take too much convincing. Canada also allows so many immigrants so that the elderly survive. It is our taxes that pay for support our aging population. According to Statistics Canada, in 2020, there were 3.33 people between the ages of 25-64 for every person aged 65 and above. But projections show that this will decline. An article from CBC titled "Where Your Tax Dollars Go" highlighted that the single biggest expense from the federal government was elderly benefits. Why is Canada projecting declining population? Possibly because our generation are choosing to not procreate as much? A couple would need to produce at least 3 kids to increase the population, right? Also, Canada's population density is 4 people per square kilometre, according to Comparatively. US is 36. India is 464. Although while much of Canada is not made to be livable, there are several underdeveloped towns, cities and countrysides that are very much livable. Take Sudbury as an example, a popular town and very much livable, sits at a modest 34 people per square kilometre. So for those Canadians who are anti-immigrant, you better start believing that it's either accepting more immigrants or paying higher federal taxes to pay for grandma's welfare. Many ignorantly believe that immigrants are here for a free ride. Which brings me to the second part of your question. There are no jobs for immigrants. Really? Have stats to back that up, or is it just your opinion? Because according to Statistics Canada's Labour Force Survey, the unemployment rate in Canada fell to 5.3% in March 2022. It was the lowest rate on record since comparable data became available in 1976. The same stats showed that the unemployment rate for immigrants who landed in Canada within the past 5 years was at a record low. The adjusted unemployment rate, which includes people who wanted a job but did not look for one, was below its pre-pandemic level for the first time at 7.2%. So yes, out of the 350,000 immigrants, 25,000 will be unemployed. That's a very different perspective to your statement there are no jobs for immigrants. To me, it's obvious that your perception stems from the negative articles and stories you hear from these 25,000 immigrants. There is no doubt that newcomers to Canada can struggle to find a job here, due to lack of Canadian experience, lack of a local network, lack of clear, confident English-French speaking skills, lack of knowledge on how a modern job search is actually done, and sometimes, even an undeserved sense of entitlement. Any of these reasons can, and will, work against a newcomer trying to find their first job. These 25,000 immigrants need to employ modern job search strategies if they want to make it in Canada. Most newcomers spray their generic, self-written resumes to as many job postings as they can. This strategy almost never works if someone has been struggling to find a job for months. Then there are the entitled ones, who believe that just because their experience and education got them to Canada, it should also get them a job. They get a rude awakening after they land. Then they play victim, blaming it on racism and Canada's hiring practices. No one listens to them. While newcomers' services can help, they usually provide high-level guidance rather than hand-holding services, which is what some people actually need, but are not willing to pay for.